Black Friday is around the corner, so you're probably getting a lot of advertisements for deals on music gear, plugins, etc. And with the new releases of Ableton and Logic, you're probably going to want to spend some money. But before you do, ask yourself these questions. Are these upgrades or new versions compatible with your current system? Ableton 12 just dropped and Logic Pro 8 just dropped. Now, when I went to go check out Logic 8 thinking I'm finna upgrade, no bueno, no bueno. My M1 Apple Silicon Mac is not up to date. I need one of the latest versions of Mac. And you know, on Macs, they come out with versions every year to make you keep upgrading. So I'm not able to get Logic Pro 8. And I want you to make sure before you get that upgrade or that new thing that you're looking at for Black Friday, you check your system's compatibility. Let me show you how. So here's how to check your compatibility of your system. Currently, I have on the screen Windows 10. You can go down to the bottom left, hit the start menu, and this little gear icon, settings. Then you go to your system and scroll all the way down to about. Now, as you can see on the screen, I have a processor AMD Ryzen 7 8 core. I have 32 gigabits of RAM. It's a 64-bit system running Windows 10. So this is how you check it on a PC. Let me show you on a Mac. And to find what your system is on the Mac, you go up to the top left, Apple icon, click about this Mac. And then as you can see, we have right here, mine is on Big Sur, which is version 11, and I'm running a Mac Mini M1 2020 with 8 gigs of memory. So you want to remember both of your settings before you start your upgrade. It's very important. Question number 2 you want to ask, is this new thing worth the time and effort and headaches to upgrade while you're working on a major project? You're probably already inundated and frustrated working on this thing. You don't want to add a system crash, a failure because your favorite plugin doesn't work and now your song doesn't sound the same. The third question you want to ask, will my plugins work with a new update? Now your DAW and your plugins, they might work together to make music for you and help you, but they are two separate entities. Logic doesn't care about plugins that's outside of Logic. So you want to make sure that your favorite plugins you use, whether they're instruments or effects, they are capable of the newest upgrade of the DAW. Let me show you an example of why you wouldn't want to upgrade your plugins until you know they're compatible with your system. I'm going to keep this on the screen just to remind you. Remember this AMD Ryzen 7. Now, if I go to, I have pulled up, this is Waves. So I do use some Waves plugins, but I really don't use them that much, but I just want to show you for an example. So this is on my PC and I'm on the system requirements. So if we look at the requirements, okay, for my Mac, I'm good to go. And I know that because I've been using Waves on my Mac. But if we look at the Windows, everything looks fine because I have everything here that they're telling me, 8 gigs RAM minimum, 16 gigs free space. But if I scroll down, it says right here, Windows AMD Ryzen 7 is not supported. Oh, I just happen to have an AMD Ryzen 7. So guess what? If I want to use Waves or update, right, and it says these specs are for software version 14. So if I want to update because of Black Friday sale, because I do some things with plugins on my PC, I would not be able to use any of my Waves plugins because for the Windows version, you need a different processor. You cannot use an AMD Ryzen 7. Before you update your plugins, you want to make sure your system can handle it. If I look at the Logic 8, the newest version now, it says Mac 12.3. But guess what? I only have Mac 11.1. So I can't upgrade to 8. And if I upgrade or buy the new upgrade to it, I won't be able to use it on my current system. Let's give you another example. This is Native Instruments. They're having a big Black Friday sale. Look at the requirements. So if we look at here, I can actually use it Mac 11, 12, 13, Windows 10. So I can use this on both of my computers if I want to. But look at this one little caveat. Massive X requires an AVX compatible CPU. Now, to find out if your CPU is AVX compatible, you have to go into your specs of the CPU. So if you really had your eyes set on using Massive X, see, that's one thing you have to worry about. To talk about upgrades, I remember when I upgraded to the new Mac Mini and my Focusrite audio interface didn't work. Well, it worked, but I wasn't able to use the software that came with it. So it basically was a mixer and I had no controls of how to route things digitally. So I had to actually buy another interface just so I can have that control. But it is what it is. So that was my mistake. I don't want you to make that same mistake because you think you're saving money by upgrading, but then you find out, oh, I need another piece of gear. Oh, it's not compatible with my CPU. I need to buy another CPU. There goes all your savings out the window. And the last question to ask yourself, is this a want or a need? You can do whatever you want with your money, but I want you to look at this with a critical lens. Now, there's certain things that I buy that's definitely of want. I've did it in the past and I still do it now. So I allow myself once a year to make a big purchase that costs over $1,000, right? And it keeps my restraint. So through the whole year, I weigh my options, I research, I price match, I find other alternatives that may be cheaper. And at the end of the day, at the end of those 6 months to a year, if I still want it and still have a need and think it can help my workflow and improve, I'll get that piece of gear. So I want you to look at it like that when you're looking at all these Black Friday sales and you're looking at other things you may want to get. You've been having your eye on this plugin for a while, and if it actually can help you, right? If it's an EQ, well, there's a lot of EQs. Will it actually help you? Does it make it easier to use EQ? Do you understand this EQ plugin easier than this EQ plugin? Because it depends on what you're doing. If you're a hobbyist, it might not matter that much. And even if you're doing professional recordings, hey, the consumer decides what's good or not. So it all depends. But I want you to allow yourself to separate the two between a need and a want, because all these commercials and advertisements, they make you think it's a need. I mean, everything is flashy. Everything sounds pristine. And once you get it, of course, they say everything is going to sound better. But we know that's a lie. That's just how advertising works. They sell us on the dreams and not necessarily the outcomes. I hope this will help you look at these deals with a critical eye, not just Black Friday, but other sales that may come up, because I don't want you to spend your hard-earned money. Remember, just because something is $100 off doesn't mean it's a good deal. You could spend $0 and save all that money. I'm trying to mostly help people who are beginners and new to music production. You may be looking to get into this, and it's so many things that can start your music production journey. And it may be actually a good time for you to get into it, depending on if you got disposable income and you really been doing research on the products that you want. And if you do see it for $200 off, hey, get it. I'm not telling you not to get it. I just want you to be critical about what you're buying, because eventually you're going to hit that gas, that gear acquisition syndrome, not just physical gear, but plugins as well. You can just keep going, because there's always going to be a shiny new toy. And if you're a beginner and you still need more help about how to start your music production and what you need to get started, check out one of these videos.